Was that not awesome, everyone? Yeah? That was really special. Terrific performances, great script, great cinematography all around. We have a very special moment here because in a short time, this project is going to be streaming worldwide. And people are going to be talking about in their Zoom meetings or at work. For those of us who still go into work, people are going to be talking about, did you catch the Slumber Party? Did you see it? Did you binge watch it? Yeah, I binge watched it. I called in sick because I had to watch the final episode. People are going to be talking about that, and you guys got to see it here first. But not only that, we have the cast here. We're going to bring them up in a second and get to pick their brains a little bit about what it was making this project. Thank you so much, guys, for being here. Thank you for bringing this project to life. I think I speak for the entire audience and anybody who will ever see this and ask, what's next? What happens, right? John, why don't we kick it off with you? What do you hope to happen here? What message do you want to give? What, as an audience member, do you want me to feel going into the next episode?
Oh man, that's for y'all. I just hope you just let it play the next episode and there's actually one to watch, that's the goal. The reason we did this, I don't know if it makes a little more sense now, but there's a lot that goes down. And not knowing what happened before, I think you'll want to know that. And then hopefully the question is, well, I don't know what happened. So, no answers, but a lot of questions, right?
Well, to kind of piggyback on that a little bit, this was a project that was shot quickly, but the conception of it took a while, right? So from the moment that you created this to what we saw here today, what message, what themes do you want to kind of portray to the audience?
Yeah, I mean, I can only speak for me, and I don't work from theme. I kind of work off of instinct and kind of whatever happens. I try not to get in my own head with what I write. I just, whatever, do the discipline, do the practice. And it's just weird to look at that, man. Like, look at all these people up there. And we started, the inception was fall 2018. And it's taken on a few different forms at this point. We're not hiding, it was a feature. And I think just based on what you saw, I think we needed 8 episodes to kind of get into the thing. There can be themes, there can be messages, but enjoying it's always fun too. Like, it doesn't have to be anything overt. It can be in there. I think that's going to be in there because we're humans. But I didn't come from that perspective. Clearly, I care about friendship. I think that's important. And that's probably writing this. I got to hang out with these people, these characters, and then try to, do the real thing. So here we are.
Well, kind of in that same vein, looking at this beautiful cast, all super talented, gorgeous people up there. I would say popcorn. Let's do some popcorn here. But because of the mic situation, maybe we'll just kind of go up and down here. I'd love to know what you guys felt about the project in terms of what message do you want the audience to get from your character's point of view, right? Is it something that in your character development you really thought, hey, my character is coming from this place? Or when somebody watches this, what do you hope as an audience member I walk away with? So we'll start with Emily here and maybe just pass the microphone down.
I don't know. Our girl Piper needs therapy. Her message is, I don't want to be here, leave me alone. And she's pretending, but it's funny because she is pretending from the beginning, but then she ends up, I think, having a really good time and connecting with these people. And I think she really, really needs it. And then Holden just gets the best of her and really triggers her. But I don't know if there's anything like Piper can bring to the table in terms of theme, but just to work on herself, I guess.
It's true. I think you brought a lot to the table.
I think I'm the only person that hasn't read the other episodes. Because there's 6 other episodes, so I don't
there's
know.
7 more of these bad.
Oh, there's 7. See? Okay. I would say that all of the characters. Well, I'm sure what you want them to say is in the other scripts, but I love that like all these characters are different and their identities are different and who they are now in the world is different than it was when they were in high school. I just think what each one represents is going to be fun to, not only play, but witness, the audience to witness that. So, I think Holden is a bit of a philosopher in his own way, but what I think is fun about Holden is that he might be like the voice of truth, He's like the person you hate, but then you end up loving him at the end because he's the only one that's not really. I mean, I'll speak for myself, but, I'm the only one that's not buying into the ego. You know what I mean? I see behind the veil, which I don't know if everybody else can do. So I look forward to more opening the veil up for everybody.
That's great.
That's what I'd say.
That's terrific. And I think the underlying thing there is points of views, right? Everybody has kind of that different point of view. Andrew.
Oh, boy. So I played Top. I guess the takeaway for Top's character is don't ask an actor what their job is. Gonna keep it short.
Yeah. Dan, what's the point of view here for Kyle?
Yeah, so John came to me and he said, Dan, we need someone who can remember 5 lines. And I negotiated and cut it down to 3. But no, yeah, I really liked Kyle, mostly because of the whole line thing. And I like staring into space. And I think both of those really came together with that character.
Well, Dan, I think, Kyle is an integral part of the story, even though it doesn't have a lot of words.
Thank you for pointing that out again. I appreciate it.
All 3 lines do represent, to me, kind of the point of view of the audience, right? You're the fly on the wall, and you carry a burden of also having to put weight into your lines. And I thought that was masterful how you with the few lines that you had, were able to get laughs here tonight as well. And you're a stand-up comic.
Yes, yeah.
So how difficult was that? Usually, in stand-up, setup, punchline. Here, you have to rely on other people for the setup.
It was good. People always tell me to shut the fuck up. So that was like a big part of the character. And it worked.
So why don't you shut the fuck up and we'll go to Des. Des.
What's going on, man?
Talk to me a little bit about, your character. Obviously, I want to know your point of view, what you thought here. To me, I'd love to ask you a little bit about your performance in working with John and getting your performance out. I think it was dangerous because you could have overacted this a lot. You had one of the most maybe over the top performances, or the one that could have gone over the top, yet you kept it very grounded and very real. So can you talk to me a little bit, not only about point of view, but also working with John, what you did in character development towards that performance?
For sure. First of all, credit to John for the writing. He brought me in. I was the last addition to the cast, so for me, I felt like I had a lot of pressure to come in and perform. But he made the set very comfortable for me. So one, as an actor, you want that. You want to make sure that your director as well as your castmates allow you to be yourself and also perform to the best of your abilities. So I think for me, there was moments in the beginning where I kind of held back, and he looked at me and he's like, "Yo, like this is Eddie Murphy raw. Like this is you. Don't hold back." And so I'm like, "Shit, all right, let's go crazy." So I think he did a really good job of honing me in and making sure that I'm hitting the beats, and just again being able to play with some excellent classmates allowed my performance to shine the way it did.
Amazing, thank you, Claire. Now you come on at the end, and I think you help kind of propel the next episode. But you also have one of the most important themes, I think, that launching the next episode.
Sure. Well, I think first, John, thank you for writing a trans character. Yeah. Because it's just like, as a minority human, it's like, I just want to see more of me on the screen. So,
Sure.
like, any way I can make that happen. and also the opportunity to act. It's been something like I've always wanted to see if I like, and I just had so much fun on set. Like, it was so great. I've done so many other things on set, and it was so nice to just show up and not do a lot, actually. I deal with actors all the time, but like to be one, it's like, wow, this is actually really nice. Now, okay, great. I'll get a snack later. It's fine. I think that the interesting thing about Cody, right, is that for me, what I understand Cody to be going through is like wanting to be a part of it. This thing that like everybody is like arguing about being a part of, and like. But also, I think all of these people are just wanting to be seen and accepted by each other, but like can't get to that vulnerability to do it, right? And then so like this character showing up, I'm really interested because I also haven't had access to read the other episodes.
Shame.
But would love to. Would love that link. Because I feel like it's such a thing about like that is the thing that's causing this turmoil and these people that I think just really want to be seen and heard, and we're a part of something special, whether everyone's gifted or not or whatever, right? And I just think that that's a really important message because we all go into life wanting to be something. We all like leave this pivotal time where we're like, our bodies are changing, we're doing interesting things, and then like to be a character that gets to show everybody outwardly like who they always felt like they were inside. I really want to see that character move forward and see how that affects the rest of the group, And I think that character, I think Cody really has the opportunity to bring vulnerability and like self-acceptance into that group because it's really difficult to be a transhuman in any way, shape, or form and like not. And like show up and do that and make those choices to show yourself as that and not like love yourself. You really have to like get down and love yourself so much so that you can show up and be like, whatever happens, it's so like this will be it. This is me. And so like showing up at the end to do that, I really hope that character can bring that like to that love to everyone else.
In a sense, like I haven't read the other scripts yet, John.
You haven't.
But I do feel like launching out of this, you become kind of that glue that has an opportunity to bring other people together, which is kind of a metaphor for the larger picture too, which is acceptance and love can bring people together, which is great. Joel.
Yeah. Hey.
Joel. So listen, I want to know your point of view of this character, right? I think your monologue at the beginning with the prayer kind of set everything in motion. That was beautiful. But I heard that you kind of put this as a period piece. And so I'd love for you to kind of talk about what that means from the point of view of Dexter or yourself.
Sure. Yeah, you really read that yearbook out there in the lobby. He said his homework. So yeah, as the only one who read all 8 scripts, pressure. No, I think I think of it as a period piece just because I think when I got the call back for doing this and I was on a call with John, I think we started talking on the Zoom about like the millennial generation just being fucked. Like we're the last ones, like Gen Z. Are you guys here? Are you guys here?
We got some Gen Z in the house. We got some.
You guys got it. Like you guys got technology and you grew up with it and you're gonna kill it and you get the internet and it's like you just hop in and you're swimming. We're all like, fuck. I gotta like learn all this shit now. And so I think we just, on the call, I think the biggest thing we kept saying on the Zoom was like, oh shit, it's like with our generation, it's like, what just happened? Like what just happened? Like I don't know, I'll speak for myself, but like, I think even me and Dan as stand-ups, it's like doing stand-up comedy even as one example is like, that was a different industry 10 years ago. and now you have to be on TikTok. And now it's like, I think the whole piece to me is like it's a period piece of like these questions that I think the millennial generation has as just like, what are we gonna do? Because I think one of the things we talked about in the Zoom was like, this is really sad, but maybe true. I think we're the first generation to maybe make less money than our parents.
That's just research.
That's
just research.
Yeah. Like proportionately, I guess, count inflation and all that. But yeah, that's happening. So yeah, I don't know. I think Dexter's like, he just avoids conflict. And I think that it's just you can tell through the whole thing, through that prayer, he's like, fuck, landmine. Some people don't believe in God. Okay. Love? I don't know. But yeah, no, I think his arc is just, if you read all 8 scripts, by the end, I think he really does have to come to terms with like his relationship with his brother. So yeah, man, I think it's just like this big question of like, what the hell are we gonna do,
And I guess we'll find out on the next episode what the hell we're going to do. Karrie.
Hello.
Hi. So, listen, I want to know your point of view, obviously, for your character. It feels like you're a little bit of the peacemaker there. Mm-hmm. But also, I want to know, an actress like yourself coming from Pretty Little Liars, The Purge, most recently Hentified, right? What propelled you or made you want to take on an independent pilot?
So I'm always a skeptic. I did read a few of the other episodes, and for me, I really think COVID, I don't know if it changed everybody, but it changed me in the sense of we come from like a generation that had those shows where you went home and got to watch your best friends, like One Tree Hill and Friday Night Lights and, all these shows. And I feel like they're not there anymore. It's so dark and so dramatic and so like, it's so heavy now, which I think is beautiful. And I think the shows that are out there are incredible, but we kind of want some levity and some hope. And I kind of think that that's where I see Ari as well, in who she is and who she wants to be and why she's even in this group at the moment is, she wants that validation, that encouragement. She's really going through a lot personally back home. And that's what this was for me, is what I want to see again on TV.
That's great. Yeah. I guess we'll kick it off with John over here. And then I want to bring it back. There's a lot of art in this that, from the pizza box that you talked about, all the way to the way it was shot, both visually and all the senses involved. I think one of the things that may go unnoticed is the concerto, the music that's going on behind this, right? You hear it throughout, but there's subtle changes as you come across. John, why don't we start with you?
Yeah, right on. First things first, though. Katie Parker, Kira Santoro, not here tonight. They are out of the country, and Katie just shot a movie, but just a hand for them, because you need everybody, to make that work. To talk about the orchestration of it, I considered it a lot of operatic music with dialogue, music with emotions. We talked a lot about finding that. And yeah, it took work, but shout out to Jerry Vasquez, our sound designer, who worked, very meticulously with me to get those moments, because you get sent this project and you make it sound professional. And then I'm like, no, but like, it's going to sound like really loud when that guitar comes in and Holden goes, or it's going to dip when this happens and all that stuff. Because you want there to be movement. We're talking at a table for 30 plus minutes. And my goal, one of the goals was to make it an enjoyable watch, to make it rewatchable. Because I feel like if you can do that, that's something. And I'm grateful that people watched it once. I do think the second time, now that you get the story out of the way, you all understand that, then you can kind of hone in on the little moments they all gifted this entire thing. So that was very intentional. And also within a sequence of 8, this is essentially our midpoint. And what's cool about a limited series is you get to do things like this. You get to say, hold up, we're going to drop anchor here. We're going to work all this out. Because they don't, there's a lot of other aspects of this series. But this is like, really, what are we doing? And I kind of call this open heart surgery, where like we're going in and like it's going to be messy and bloody, and that adds drama, that adds tension, and then the music is a thing. Clearly I've seen this a lot, and watching those two do their thing every time works. I think it's really special, and I'm grateful to have those two types of performances in something that I've done. But then to have everyone, it's overwhelming to think about. So yeah.
So Emily and Augustus, talk to me a little bit about the challenges with that, but also the fun behind it.
The challenge was to figure out where her emotional state was in, because before I was there, I couldn't quite understand it. But on the day, I finally understood that she was either going to have a panic attack and walk out of the room, or eviscerate everybody, and she chooses to eviscerate everybody. So that was hard at first, just reading the script from an intellectual place. I didn't understand it, and I think on the day we did it, I finally understood it and I felt it. But yeah, the amount of dialogue and stuff, I mean, this was just really fun for me because I come from doing a lot of theater, so this is very similar to doing theater, and it was just amazing to be able to let it rip in that way on screen. I mean, I just feel like you rarely get that opportunity.
Yeah, the whole piece felt a little theater-ish, right? Yeah. The way it was shot.
In the best way, yeah.
Yeah. Augustus, what about you in terms of, I think you are, or your character is the pivotal point of the episode. So talk to me a little bit about, the fun or the challenges and the pressure of kind of taking the episode to the next level.
I knew the music of it right away somehow. I mean, I don't know why. I mean, maybe it's because it was somewhat good writing. No, the writing was amazing. And so maybe that's what made it easy to kind of get into, or maybe John and I think alike. I don't know, But yeah, the only challenge really was it was quite a few lines. And, when you watch it, it's like, wow, did I even say anything? It's weird. But, when we were shooting it, this is, Emily brought up the theater thing. When we were shooting it, like before we started shooting, we were on set. And John said, okay, we're going to treat this like theater. And, me hearing that was music to my ears too. I was like, oh, great. Okay, wonderful. We can kind of just drop the cameras and just be here with each other and just have an experience, just live this experience, So when he said that, I was like, oh, wonderful. I know exactly where I'm supposed to be. I know exactly how to, do this. We're not going to stop it. I mean, I did my thing in one take. We did one more that was sort of half a take, but I just did it in one take, and it was amazing, and everybody was on the ball. I mean, like, we had one rehearsal at the house, and, we all just dove into it, and the music was there, the music of the energy and the vibrations of the people. Obviously, the music wasn't playing that's on there, but, But yeah, it was great. I mean, it was great. Kind of just dove in immediately, and it was just like there. I don't really, like John said, there was a lot of like feelings shooting this that felt, dare I say, cosmic. It just felt like things were falling into place every step of the way. So that was wonderful. It was wonderful.
That's great.
I know you said we did this quick. We did it in 3 days.
Ooh, 3 days.
3 3 days. So the theater thing was real because there was no time to do other stuff. So, and that's where, again, Chloe coming in and shooting this, how do you make something look like that in 3 days? You know, how do you get performances like that in 3 days? I mean, Ari's monologue, first take. Joel's monologue is Dexter, first take. Gus, yeah, like a take and a half. And that was just for eye lines. Emily, we just rolled because she can just go and go and go and go and go, right? It's freaky. And I think it speaks to everyone, though, because in order for that to work, you need the talented people. It's not, I don't think anyone would pretend to think this is like a singular art form.
I think you had a question?
And my question specifically was to Dan for his character, because I found you hysterical. Like, I was cracking up at you the entire time, and it had so much to do with your facial expressions, specifically when we were talking about how hot the teacher was, and Holden's character looks at you like, you know she's hot, and you're just like, well, says nothing. I thought that was one of the funnier moments of the episode.
Yeah,
So-
we did that in the table read. That in like the first table read, when he was talking, I didn't know I had a line next, or I didn't know the focus was on me next. And then he looked at me, and everyone looked at me, and I was just like, and then that just happened in the moment. Yeah, thank you.
Absolutely. And so I was gonna ask, like, are those kind of facial expressions like spur of the moment? Do you kind of like take time to think them through, or are they a little bit more freestyle in that, or fluid in that way?
They started as fluid, like with the first few read-throughs, and then I kind of was like, yeah, this is how we would react. This is how, like, without any words, like, I can sort of get a line across, if that makes any sense. So that's kind of how it felt in the moment. Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Thank you.
Well,
I believe we have another question right over here.
What I was wondering was, how many drafts did it take you to make sure they would, like, they all have dimensions to them, right? So, Dex, the first thing we see of him is that he's really nervous and stuff, and he's trying not to step on any landmines. But at the same time, as the episode goes on, you see he's smirking at some jokes. So I was wondering, how many drafts did it take you to make sure that none of the characters were stereotypes, but that the archetypes would still be?
Yeah, man, that means a lot. Yeah, shoot.
Great work, by the way.
I don't count drafts because it just gets sad, I mean, again, it was 2018 is a movie, many drafts, many table reads, but and different characters, different amount of characters, and trying to find them. But I guess one of the things that always was people responded to were the characters, and they were all kind of unique and different. And I don't know. I mean, that's just people I know. That's just they're not one for one, people. Like, it's not like, oh, that's this person. But I think, tomorrow I will return to being introverted, which means I just listen. I'm not trying to. So I'm just, if you try to listen, you tend to remember some things, and try to just like, if you love those people, if you care about them, hopefully you just try to speak, to capture them. And it wasn't like, I'm not Breakfast Club cool, but like the trailer is like the jock, the thing, and part of this is like, well, not really. They're people. I mean, I'm grateful that Claire, like, you feel great about, that there's a trans character, but also like Cody's just a character, you know what I mean? And that's just what it is. So it's a lot of drafts, and I have a lot of good people that I share my work with to talk to and feel like, are we doing this right? Does this feel okay? Yeah. So but I just do that every morning and just keep whittling away, man.
We got time for maybe one more question. Also, did anybody notice that not only is Dan like a ninja in the film, but he also is a ninja here?
Yeah,
with like
he's gone.
I didn't.
Yeah,
wait.
That's what happens with Dan.
Ninja.
That's just what happens with Dan.
We got one more
He's just
question over
gone.
here in the second row.
Something I thought was cool about
We're recording the mics. Yeah.
something I thought was cool about the mistake about watching the show in the middle, and then piggybacking off of The Gifted. I got X-Men vibes immediately. But yeah, Rachel, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So she's basically Tony Stark.
Keep talking. Yes.
This is why I piggyback off of X-Men. So I think something personally, obviously I haven't read the other 7 episodes.
I'll send you them.
I'll send you my email. But I think an episode illustrating just what that classroom was like to identify why this group of people would actually come back together. Because there's something about that class. Somebody got razor sharp claws or laser eyes or some shit that's getting these people to come back together. So I just thought that was, something that would be cool. Less of a question and more of an idea.
No, man, I think, yeah.
You got to pitch. You got to pitch.
Dude, yeah.
Bring him into the writer's room.
I'm not trying to overstep.
No, it's fine. I spent very little time working on this thing, so it's... Professor X is gonna just wheelchair out, you know what I mean, and like the whole
class.
Deal. But I think we'll play on this is like I want to do the opposite of that, but I want people to think, because I think what happens is people start doing that, and since Joel's read the things, you got a favorite episode?
Oh yeah, I'll talk about it.
Yeah, you don't mind? You don't? Oh yeah,
I won't spoil anything.
Yeah, don't. But
I won't spoil anything. This isn't even on. Episode 7, bro.
That's what you gonna say?
That's all I gotta say. Episode 7.
yeah, so
I was reading at home. I was like, what is this show? But it was a good turn. And then it turns again. Episode 7.
To wrap this up, guys, I guess my question to John is, where do we go from here, right? What's next for this project? And then for the rest of you, kind of 1 or 2 words about, what it was like working on this project and what you take away moving forward from this. So, John?
Oh, man. Yeah, we get to the part of the journey where you just don't know, right? Very lucky to have people already interested in what this is. Like we said, this is kind of a unique thing that we have, and I think it might help us get the whole thing going, especially if the people that we show it to are like, yeah, I need this. Like, this is what this is, and that's kind of what it was. And people don't see what you see. Like, that's kind of the whole thing. So this was like, we're going to just do it. And we're just going to get as close as we possibly can to the thing. So that way it's like, we ain't got to pitch it. It's here. And you don't have to hire a writer's room because it's already written, unless we're going to get some levitation. So that's the plan. It's been a long time coming to like get to this moment. And with the intention of whatever happened to get to this point should hopefully springboard us towards where we want to go. And where we want to go is, coming to a streamer near you, right? And that's what we're trying to do. And hopefully, I think in life, to the gifted point, like, I'm not expecting someone to be like, here's a bunch of money because you're gifted or because you're whatever. But you just need one person to say yes, right? And we're just going to go for that till someone says yes. I mean, Zach and I had a list of names that we called the 99 nines. Like 9, like, Tarantino, German crap. Because just give me 100, give me 99 no's. I'll eat them. I'll wear that because this is worth it for me. And to have the support is freaky, and the fact that people, again, Karrie, lead of a Netflix series, not like huge in this episode, read episode 3 and was like, yo, yeah, I'm in. Like, having someone believe in you, come on, So
guys, in your best Kyle impersonation with 1 or 2 words, Let's just go around the horn real quick. What did you take away from this? What do you hope to happen next?
It was the fastest 3 days of my life, but it was so incredibly fulfilling because it really felt like you were hanging out with your best friends all day. So I hope everybody takes that away.
Joel.
I was in jazz band in middle school, and I played the trumpet. I'm just saying it felt like being in a funky jazz band. No, I just felt like being in jazz band. It was great.
Terrific.
Thanks, man. Yeah.
Also trumpet.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Trumpet.
Yo.
X-Men.
It was such a blast. I was there for like 4 hours, and I stayed outside most of the time.
Did you have a stunt double?
But I just hope that it becomes everything that everybody's hoping for, because it's worth it, and everybody's put their heart there. So, yeah, it was great.
For sure. Strangers turn friends on the set, for sure. Validating, and I hope it gets picked up.
I was in jazz band in high school, and felt kind of like being in a jazz band. Real funky.
See what I mean?
That's episode 7.
This is basically us all 3 days.
It's a jazz funk Kamasi thing.
I know. I almost wore a pattern shirt too. It was in the car, and I'm like, no, too much.
We actually, you have a trumpet.
Yeah, so like a jazz band. It was also just really cool. Like everybody on set was just amazing. And just watching us all go delirious trying to do this in 3 days was just fantastic. So, yeah.
Hey, it's a different mic now. I would just say life affirming. This is why, stuff like this is why I'm an artist. It's this is more than a few words, sorry. But, you do something like this and it's you want more, but then it also feels like enough. Do I need to do more than this in my life? It just felt so good, So just life affirming. I mean, this is why I'm here working with these people. And then you're involved too. Now you're part of this too. So, it's just more fuel to the process that I'm so blessed and grateful to be able to do in this life. So thanks.
Emily, bring us home.
I don't know if I have much to say besides it was just bliss. We were in flow state those 3 days, and we connected so much so easily as friends, and I just want to keep hanging out with you guys, and I want to make the thing. So let's do it.
So guys, I'll give you the last word here. And by word, I mean round of applause for these talented individuals. Please give it up for them. Yes, give it up. It's not every day that something like this can happen. Amazing, wonderful, guys. Thank you so much for being here. The Slumber Party, everybody.
Great job and everything.
We did it. We did it, man. I strongly believe that this definitely goes somewhere.
Yeah. The other episodes are so great too. I read them and
The sound, the picture, the shots, the editing, the music, the whole thing and the acting, you guys destroy it. And it's the whole thing is in that circle,